My worst nightmare has come true. The Flash is ending after season 9. When I heard this, I was in distraught. I was in denial. I feel betrayed. I truly do. I was really hoping this show would at least get to 10 seasons, 200 episodes. Because why not? But clearly, that is not going to happen. I am not happy, and quite frankly, I'm still in denial that this is happening. I know this show has had a lot of ups and downs over the past couple of seasons, and it's not as good as it used to be, but I grew up on this show. It's been a big part of my life since I was a kid, and it always will have a very special place in my heart. With that being said, I am absolutely going to be in tears when the final episode airs, because I'm absolutely not ready to say goodbye to this show. We still have a little while before season 9 airs. Beginning of next year, I believe, is when season 9 will start airing. I will be there every step of the way. I will be making reaction videos to every single episode as fast as I can after they come out. I will be dedicated to this show till the very end. And heck, I'll probably still do like rewatches of older episodes or just revisit certain parts of the show and still discuss the show because I love it. I love this show and I still want it to be a part of my life even after it ends. So yeah, that is my thoughts about the show ending. Like I said, I'm devastated, truly. The show, like I said, the show isn't as good as it used to be, and I do have a lot of problems with it, but I still love it dearly and hold it very close to my heart. So this is gonna be hard. Watching this last season, knowing that it's all we're ever gonna get, is going to be really, really hard. But in honor of, the show ending soon, so I figured now that this news is out, the best way to cope with it is to go back and watch an episode from season 1, feel the nostalgia, how things used to be, and just vibe and enjoy it. I'm not gonna watch the pilot because I want to save rewatching the pilot for closer to when it actually ends. So we won't watch the pilot yet, but we will watch an episode from season 1. So without further ado, let's get right on into it.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
I missed this intro so much. I really hope they bring it back for the final season because it would be so fitting. It would be so fitting. The new intro isn't bad that they've been using, but this one I just love so much more. Ah, yes, the days where they'd show the origin of the metahuman of the week. Loved it, and I miss it too. I mean, because a lot of the metahumans that they used to bring in had really sick origin stories, and I kind of wish we saw more origin stories for villains, but they kind of just stopped doing them for some reason, and I know it kind of makes sense because obviously it does take up a portion of the episode, and not all villains do have an interesting origin story, but if they brought it back every now and again, I would really love to see more depth within some of the villains we have on the show.
One can always hope, Gideon. Bring up my log, would you?
Certainly. Go ahead, Doctor.
Gosh, I remember the days of the good old Gideon and Dr. Wells talks back in season 1. They were always so creepy and bone-chilling, and they still are even re-watching them. Eobard Thawne used to be one of the most intimidating villains I have ever seen on television. Unfortunately, they've overused him a little bit too much, which has made him less intimidating, but nevertheless, I still love this villain with all of my heart.
I mean, this is crazy. There are literally hundreds of thousands of people in Central City, and out of everyone you could have picked to rob, you pick me.
I miss this version of Barry Allen. The Barry Allen who was just so passionate about his powers and, was just so excited to learn more about them and do things. He was just so genuine and so happy. And I feel like he's not really that way in the newer seasons. He's more just kind of to himself and kind of stern and a bit too serious. So I'm hoping in this last season they at least bring back the little happier side of Barry per se, because I do miss when he was giddy like he used to be.
Where's Barry? He's late.
Late is kind of his signature move.
Hey,
You guys want to see my signature move?
Gosh, I miss having Cisco on the show so much. Since he took his leave of absence back in season 7, the show hasn't been quite the same. His humor is definitely missed. He's just honestly irreplaceable. I know they've tried to like fill his slot with Chester and stuff, but it doesn't work. I mean, not that I'm saying Chester's bad necessarily, but no one could ever replace Cisco. He's too good.
You see the soot on the ground where the cement is burnt?
Yeah?
That's evidence of arc blasts. Happens when high amperage currents travel or arc through the air.
Ah yes, CSI Barry Allen. I also miss this side of Barry Allen as well, and to be fair, they have shown more of this side of him, at least in this past season, which I've really enjoyed, but I want to see a bit more of him as a CSI, so hopefully they'll continue to integrate more of Barry Allen at work more in this final season, because you can just tell he's so passionate about what he does, and it's just so awesome to see him working in his own element, doing his thing. So yeah, maybe they'll continue to integrate that into the final season.
Too much. I can't. My speed is gone.
I remember watching this episode and being like, oh my goodness, he lost his powers. Like, what are they gonna do? Because this was like the first time he ever lost them. Now, obviously, he loses them quite a few more times throughout the series. This was like the first time. So I was like, whoa, what are they gonna do? You know, like, I mean, obviously they're gonna fix it because the show's called The Flash, but I was like also like 9. So I didn't know anything, but I mean, I knew that he'd get him, that he'd get his powers back. I just didn't know how. So yeah, rewatching this episode is just like a wave of nostalgia of when I went and watched it the first time.
He runs slow even for a normal person.
Dang, Cisco did not have to do him like that.
You didn't catch it?
I loved that mug.
Humor used to be a lot more genuine in this show. Now sometimes it feels a little forced. Not all the time, but more so than it used to be back in these episodes. But I don't know, it's just kind of refreshing to see, you know, genuine jokes and stuff that I wish that they would kind of integrate once again into the show a little bit.
But now that it's gone, it feels like part of me is gone too.
With or without your speed, you're still you, Barry.
Listen, I don't care what anyone says, okay? And I know this is like peak controversy, okay? But they would have been an amazing couple. They would have been so cute together. Like, I know West Allen's the thing now, obviously, but I'm just saying, I think the writers should have at least gave them a little chance and let them date for a bit. But, I mean, just my opinion. Please don't hate me.
It's untested.
I'm willing to roll the dice.
Okay. You've lost your speed, yes, but nothing has changed inside you on a subatomic level. In other words, your cells are still primed.
I love the way they used to explain science in the show. It made way more sense than kind of how they explain it sometimes in the later seasons. I just feel like they try to overcomplicate it a little bit sometimes in newer episodes, whereas in these episodes, they'd keep it quick and simple and easy for the audience to digest. So yeah, I definitely prefer the way that they used to explain things a little bit more.
Laptop with 8 gigabytes of RAM.
8 gigabytes of RAM? Shoot. If I was trying to negotiate, I'd be asking for a minimum of 32, just saying.
It stopped my heart. Jake and Daria.
They were your friends.
I woke up and they were beside me, dead. They tried to give me CPR. They were touching me and I electrocuted them.
I actually feel so bad for this guy. Like, can you imagine not only waking up to that, but also to being like a completely different person, basically?
Of everything I've done in my life, of everything I have invented, my most important creation is The Flash. Barry Allen must have a future. Now go.
Hearing him make speeches like that, knowing everything that happens afterwards, it makes so much sense. I don't know how to explain it. Like, his passion for Barry. I mean, when you go back and watch that, you can tell exactly what he truly is talking about, and it's crazy.
Got him.
Why did Eddie only shoot him one time in, like, the shoulder? This man has got a gun and he's threatening hostages. Like, he should have definitely shot him more than once and not froze after he shot him, like, a singular time.
There is another metahuman loose in this facility. I want you to kill him.
The background music, the acting, the dialogue, it's all chef's kiss. Ah, my goodness, I'm getting chills, and I've already seen the episode once before. Granted, it has been a long time, but still, it's crazy how this show can still give me chills like that.
I already lost someone I cared about in this building. I can't do it again.
Listen, all romance aside, I miss when their friendship was like this. I mean, Barry acts like he doesn't care about her at all in the later seasons, or at least I shouldn't say not care at all. You can tell he does care, just not that much, or at least not as much as I definitely think he should. Like, Caitlin is supposed to be one of his very best friends, and he kind of just treats her like she's an acquaintance, that type of thing. Honestly, he's been a very garbage friend here recently, and I really hope that they fix that in season 9, because Barry and Caitlin have had one of the best friendships in the show from the very beginning. Obviously, Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin, all three had the best, like, dynamic out of everyone else in the show. So, yeah, I really hope that they fix Barry and Caitlin's friendship going into season 9, because what they have done to them is unacceptable, and I am bitter about it.
I forgot. Your game's chess. We're all just pawns to you, right?
Oh, if only you knew, Barry. If only you knew.
Not physical.
Oh, you have the yips.
The what's?
If Cisco Ramon does not come back at some point in season 9, at least in the very last episode of the show, I will be incredibly bitter, okay? This man is a cherished character by the community, bro. If you don't like Cisco, I don't know, you must not like the show, because he is one of the best characters in it. But yeah, if they don't bring him back in the final season and have him interact with like Barry and Caitlin one last time, I will be forever mad.
You asked if I believed you were struck by lightning for a reason, if you were chosen. I believe you should too.
I've already had my rant for this episode, okay? But I'm still going to restate that I miss when their friendship was like this, alright? It was cute, okay? They were like besties, alright? Tell Eric Wallace to take notes.
Sorry, babe.
No, please. You have to hang on for me, okay? I'm gonna be right back.
Eddie and Iris were so cute. I don't know if I've talked about that in any of my other videos, but I really shipped them together in season 1. Like, they were so adorable together. I don't know why people dislike them.
Get closer.
Iris!
That was an extremely smart play by them. I didn't even really remember that part of the episode, because like I said, it's been a really long time since I initially watched this, but that was so smart. Slow-mo shots like these will never get old. They look so cool. Seeing everything in slow motion while he speeds in will always be cool. I love scenes like this.
It was more energy than the meta could safely handle. It's almost like he choked on you.
What does that mean?
I think it means you've kicked it up a notch.
You see, this is how the show should have described him getting more powerful in season 8, instead of saying level up every 2 seconds, you know? Instead of repeating essentially the exact same phrase, switch it up a little bit. Use terms like kicked it up a notch and whatnot. I mean, people just get a little tired of constantly hearing leveled up, leveled up, leveled up. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they lay back on that term a little bit next season.
Try and eat all the ice cream before it melted.
I love ice cream.
I miss Eddie. Rewatching this episode makes me remember just how good of a character he was, and honestly now I'm sad that he died all over again. I did hear that we could see him again in some form in season 9, kind of like how we saw him in season 8, or maybe a little bit differently. I'm not sure. But I hope that happens, because I love Eddie. He is an awesome character.
Barry's attachment to people, and people he cares about, is actually the key to getting him up to speed.
I do have to give the show credit. This has been a consistent theme that the show has had since day 1. Barry being the best version of him when the people he cares about are around him. So, you know, props to the show for keeping that consistent.
I have the ability to steal the Flash's powers, and I'd love to know how you did that.
I always wondered why Cisco or someone else never looked at the video footage and just saw Wells just walking around, you know, being malicious and whatnot. Like, did they never look at the video footage, or did he wipe the footage so people could see it? I can't remember if they ever gave an explanation for it, but if they didn't, I do wonder why no one on Team Flash ever looked at the security footage and was like, hey yo, why is Harrison Wells walking in the basement right now? That is it for this episode of The Flash. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!